Well, it's not awful, but it's not exactly good either. I'll explain. Stick around. Howdy folks, thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome to the channel. Finally getting around to doing the review on the Squier Affinity Strat that I unboxed a little while ago. Glad to be finally getting around to this. I've had a whole bunch of computer issues and whatnot that's been causing a few problems, but I'm gonna muddle through anyway. So yeah, this is a gorgeous looking guitar. I mean, just to look at it, it's a beautiful guitar. The Sienna Sunburst is kind of striking. Nice flame maple veneer on it. But I think the important thing is to get right into it and get to the specs. But before I do, just a really quick reminder, if you would, go ahead and click the subscribe button. If you're not already subscribed, ring that bell for notifications. A thumbs up is greatly appreciated, as well as comments and shares and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and get to the specs. The Squier Affinity HSS Strat has a poplar body with a flame maple veneer. It comes in Sienna Sunburst and Blackburst. The 25.5-inch scale length neck is maple with a walnut skunk stripe and has a very familiar feeling C-shaped carve. The fretboard is maple with a 9.5-inch radius, 21 medium jumbo frets, a synthetic bone nut, and dot inlays. The tuners are the classic style safety tuners, or slotted head tuners if you prefer. The bridge is a 2-point tremolo with 6 individual block-style saddles. There are 3 pickups, a humbucker in the bridge position, and 2 single coils in the middle and neck positions. All 3 pickups have ceramic magnets. There's 1 master volume with 2 tone controls and a 5-way selector switch, all mounted on a white on black multiply pickguard on this particular model, which happens to weigh in at 7.12 pounds. All right, folks, you've seen it, you've heard it. Now, well, I'm going to talk about it, and I've got some things to say about this guitar. Some good, and well, some not so much. But let's go ahead and start with the good things. And well, I mean, look at the guitar. That's a beautiful finish. It's a veneer, and but it's a good looking flame maple veneer, and nothing to complain about. Certainly, it catches the eye. It has a little bit of movement in the flame there. So, and the burst itself, I like the sienna burst. It's maybe my favorite type of a burst on a Stratocaster. So it's a beautiful guitar. The neck, I mean, it's not like you got flame or bird's eye anywhere. It's not a gorgeous neck by any means, and I've got more to say about the neck. That's coming up. But it just looks good. Now, admittedly, I've said it before, I'm not a big fan of the oversized Fender headstocks, the 70s style. It's not my favorite, but it's, you know, it looks good enough to me, and I can live with that. As far as everything else, I do have to say they did an excellent job on the frets. There's no fret sprout whatsoever, very smooth all the way up and down the neck, top and bottom. They did a decent job on the fret ends. They feel good, they look good, everything's nice. Fairly decent polished job on the frets. They can be polished better, of course. You know, they're not spending a huge amount of time on stuff like that. So I'm impressed that they are as good as they are. So I can't complain at all. The tuners, they're adequate. The high E, for some reason, you have to go just a little bit further to affect the tuning. I don't know. It's always like that with the lower end tuners. There's always at least one that just feels a little looser, a little like it's not doing, like it's slipping a little or something. So there's that. But I do like the slotted head, the safety style tuners. That's amongst my favorite type of tuner. So the pickups sound decent. No complaints there. I'm not as big of a fan of the double coil in here. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but uh, to me, I think certainly you can do better. And ultimately, these pickups probably won't stay in the guitar. Uh, a lot of things probably won't stay on this guitar. um, but, and I'm going to have more to say about that towards the end of the video because I did buy this guitar with further plans other than to just show it on the channel. So I'll talk about that more at the end. The electronics are good. The pots feel good. They do what they're supposed to be doing. The switch, no problems with it. No problems with the input jack. Everything's good. I'm going to talk a little bit on the other side, on the bad side, about the bridge. There are some things here, so I'll get to that in a minute as well. Uh, all in all, I mean, aesthetically, it's a good guitar. It plays well, it sounds well, but it does have some issues. And first and foremost, I want to talk about the neck, specifically where the skunk stripe is. Uh, they just didn't sand this thing down flat. There's a distinct ridge line running along where the skunk stripe is. And when I first pulled the guitar out of the box, I felt it right away and I thought, it won't bother me that much. Well, it kind of does. It really kind of does. You feel it as you come up the neck, and it's not right. And ultimately, I'm going to have to take the neck off the guitar, sand it all down, get it all good and smooth and the way it should be. And I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I may do a tung oil finish on the neck. I haven't decided yet, but I do have to do something about this. So this was clearly missed in the quality control. It should not. This shouldn't have passed. I mean, somebody at some point should have picked up this guitar, felt the neck, and right away, because like I said, I felt it the second I pulled it out of the wrapping and the case and all, or the box and all that. So that's an issue. Also, as I said, the bridge. Now, the saddles are fine. As a matter of fact, I like that it has the block style saddles and not the bent metal. I'm a much bigger fan of the block style saddles. That's all well and good. The problem comes with the wiggle stick. And I don't know if you can see it here, but there is a lot. And I mean, that's just slop. That movement there is just slop. It's not really engaging. It'll, when you push down, it'll pull the bridge up slightly. But I mean, that's, I, I don't know. I compared it with all my other Strat style guitars, similar trim systems. None of them have that amount of wiggle before it's actually hitting the side that it's supposed to be pushing on to move the bridge. So that's just that makes this whole bridge junk as far as I'm concerned. It's going to have to come out of the guitar. I'm going to have to get a new bridge to replace it, or come up with some way to, I don't know. I'm going to replace the bridge. So, uh, what can you do? That is certainly, I liked when I was looking at the guitar, I liked that it had the 2 point trim, everything looked good about it. But for me, this is just a deal breaker. So, but that's okay for me because my intentions for this guitar is to use it in the future, to try out new stuff, new pickups, new tremolos or old tremolos, whatever I get my hands on, different things, change stuff out, and try different products from tuners to pickups to bridges, input jacks, who knows? So a lot of things are going to be changing on this guitar in the future. So for me, that's not an issue because the bridge wasn't going to stay anyway. But if you're just somebody wanting to buy a guitar to play it, to bring it home, hook it into your amp, and play it and have a good experience, between the lack of work that was done on this neck and the amount of slop in the trim system, I don't know how pleasurable your experience is ultimately going to be. And I realize we're talking about a $250 guitar, not a $1,500 guitar or a $2,000 guitar. But certainly I know you can buy a $150 guitar that's not going to have a neck like this and not going to have a trim like this. So that's a problem. And I want to be clear because that could just be this one particular guitar, or maybe a couple made it out of the factory, and all the rest of them are great. I don't want to, based on this one example, totally wreck Squier and Fender for quality control. And the reason I certainly don't want to do that is because I know that not all the affinities have glaring issues. Well, the truth is, this isn't the only affinity that I bought. I did buy another affinity. It's not a Strat. Yeah, there you go. I do have I'll have a video coming up on this too, but And it'll be, put that away. That video is going to be much different from this one as far as what I have to say about it. Little foreshadowing there. It's just this one, well, I'm just disappointed. These two things, there are some things I can overlook, but the neck, the trim, those are kind of important, and I wish they had done a better job on them. So anyway, that's about all I have to say about the guitar. I'm glad you stuck around. If you've stuck around, if you've stuck around this long, I really do appreciate it. And I hope if you're not subscribed that you will, and you'll leave me a thumbs up, all that good stuff. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and go and, well, just tell you to be good. Let's all just be good. Take care.